Hello fam, and welcome to Cookin with Norma. So today we are going to make homemade quiche. So quiche is something that I like to do, and it reminds me of my childhood. So as a kid, I used to go to a fashion show, and the meal that they would fix was always quiche and fruit. So today we're gonna make our spinach, mushroom, and turkey sausage quiche. So we're gonna get started. I've already chopped up some onions, I've chopped up some mushrooms, I've also chopped up some turkey sausage. We're just gonna throw all of that in the pan and let it saute and cool. So join me at the stove. So as you see, I just added the mushrooms, a little onion, and the turkey sausage to the pan. I'm gonna let this simmer in our grapeseed oil. And then after it cooks down a bit, I'm just gonna put the spinach on it. As you know, spinach only takes about 2 minutes in order to wilt, and that's all we want. I'm going to put a top on it so that it cooks down a little bit faster. So while our vegetables and our turkey are sauteing, we're just going to get our eggs ready. We're going to crack them, as well as get our pan ready with a little bit of pie crust. So those of you that follow me, you went on a journey with me to my favorite store. We bought a host of things, and so pie crust was one of the things that we bought. This is just a regular old pie crust, baking, nothing fancy. We're gonna open that up and we're gonna put it in our pan. Before we put it in our pan though, we're gonna spray our pan just because we don't want it to get stuck, all right? You're going to see that it's bigger than the pan, which is okay. It'll cause the sides to kind of rise up, which is also pretty good. Get a little bit of crust on the outsides. Doesn't have to be in here fancy. We just put it in here, just like that. We're going to crack our eggs. We're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to those. And we're gonna beat them. I use a hand beater. If you want, you can use an electric beater. You could also just use a fork. I'm only using 4 eggs, only because this pan is relatively small. Again, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper. For those of you that want to know exactly how much salt and pepper to use in things, do it to your own liking and your own taste. Once you find whatever device you're going to use to dispense your salt and pepper, do a couple different tries. Some people like heavy salt and pepper, some people like light. Your own taste is what I would recommend. So to my eggs, I'm going to add a little bit of heavy cream. Probably only about 1/4 cup of heavy cream is all you need. You don't have to use heavy cream. You could also use milk. I use heavy cream because the only milk I have in the house is almond milk, and almond milk in quiche probably doesn't taste very good. So as I gauge this, I want my egg to be just a little bit more filling in the pan. So I'm going to add 1 more egg to that. So now we've put a total of 5 eggs in there, and that's perfect. It's all mixed up and ready to go, and the only thing we're gonna do is add our vegetables and then our cheese, and then we will plate and put in the oven. So I'm going to add about a half a bag of spinach. Only because the spinach wilts so much that it won't be a whole lot in there. I'm going to turn that down on low and let it simmer as well. Then I'm going to toss this stuff back on top of it so that it all mixes in there together. So as you can see, the spinach is cooked down. We're going to add all of our mushrooms and sausage and onions back to the mix. We're going to turn it off so that it can cool down. And we're going to take it off the eye. So to our egg, we're going to add our mushrooms and our spinach. Also, there's a little onion in there. It's now cooled off. We add it together. We're going to add some cheese. I'm choosing Swiss and Gruyere, and I'm also going to shred a little bit of cheddar in there. Depending upon how cheesy you want it, you can choose the cheese. I don't like mine overly cheesy. I just want it to be moderately cheesy because I'm not trying to make cheese eggs. I'm trying to make quiche. So more egg than cheese. And I like the butterness of the extra sharp cheddar, so that's why I'm just finishing it off with just a little bit. That's all it takes. Mix it all up, and we drop it in the pan. The oven's already set. We set the oven at 400 degrees, so it's already heated up. And this will cook at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. So our quiche is done. We're gonna take it out of the oven. We actually ended up cooking it about 15 to 20 minutes. So how I gauge it is when I take it out, I am looking and touching the top and making sure that I cannot poke in on it. So our crust did a little of its own thing here, and it actually went down, but don't worry. When we get ready to plate, we will have the appropriate plate presentation. I'm gonna let this sit here and cool just for a minute so that it doesn't start to fall out when we go to plate it, and then we will have our quiche brunch. So our quiche is now cooled. We're just gonna slice and serve. And there you have it. Breakfast quiche or brunch quiche with a little bit of berries on the side and a cup of coffee. It's your fast and frugal breakfast brunch. Hey fam, thanks for tuning in to Cookin' with Norma, where we prepare fast and frugal meals that you and your family love. Hey, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And also, don't forget to hit that bell to turn on your notifications so you can continue to get content that I'll be submitting every week. Bye, family.